In today's episode, I take on London's ultimate challenge, a taxi driver working a night shift. What could possibly go wrong? Someone challenges me to a round of Guess the Fare.
How much would it be to Wandsworth Town, do you think?
And last episode's GTF results are revealed.
Hey, good evening, you crazy cats. What did I say? Yes, evening. It's about 5:30, and I'm going to be doing a night shift. It's Friday, the 19th of September. What have I let myself in for? What have I let you in for? Let's get on the road and see what London's like on a Friday night.
And last episode's Guess the Fare, that went from Nine Elms Lane to Oxford Circus. Well, disappointment all round. No one got the fare on the nose. The actual price for that journey came to £30.80. Better luck in this episode.
Right, full disclaimer. I am a day man. I like to work during the day. The last night shift I did was in 2019 on New Year's Eve, and to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it. But a lot of people have been asking me to do this episode, and it's a good time to showcase London and the West End at night. So you're going to see what London looks like in those big entertainment districts. Just to say, we have had an absolutely beautiful day here, real Indian summer day. Oh gosh, this feels really weird. Oh, sorry about the sun. Going to work at 5:30 in the evening, that is not me at all. Another thing we're going to experience for the first time today are 3 different tariffs in one shift. I'm going to start on Tariff 1. That will flip over to Tariff 2 from 8 till 10. And then at 10 o'clock from 10 till 5 in the morning, we're on Tariff 3. So 3 different tariffs in one shift. Don't think we've ever done, in fact, I know we've never done that before. At the moment, sundown is round about 8:30, 8 o'clock. Things will start getting duskier around then. And then expect London to come to life and for the evening chaos to begin.
And please consider subscribing to the channel. You can join me on my adventures around London as a London cabbie every fortnight. Well, how do I start a night shift? I've no idea. It's been a long time, 6 years since I worked nights, so I just headed into town, Uxbridge Road, Shepherd's Bush, past my favourite hotel on the right, the Hilton Kensington, where there wasn't anything happening there. That's a morning hotel for sure. Notting Hill Gate, Bayswater Road, and then went around Sussex Gardens and was called into one of the hotels on Westbourne Terrace. First job, night shift, here I come.
Right, where are you off to?
We go to the 99 Regent Street.
And away we go, my first night shift job. Wish me luck, folks. Leaving by left here onto Westbourne Terrace, taking me south towards Sussex Gardens, all the way around until I do a left turn on to Sussex Street. Left on to Stanhope Terrace, right here, Forster Home Place, past the Victoria Pub. Forward and bear right, Hyde Park Square, right, Hyde Park Street. Get down to the Bayswater Road, left turn, jump into that bus lane and head towards Marble Arch. London looks so different at this time of the night. In fact, it's a beautiful evening. Right turn onto Park Lane. Think I'm going to be sniffing out Brook Street here. Well, Upper Brook Street. Upper Brook Street gets me down to Grosvenor Square. Lots of evening traffic. Now, this is going to be an eye-opener for me. I'm going to see how London really does work on a night shift. Around Grosvenor Square, forward Carlos Place, bear left Mount Street. Right, David Street, Comply, Berkeley Square. All the way around on to Bruton Street, left turn here up towards Conduit Street. I was thinking New Burlington Street off Savile Row would get me through easily onto Regent Street, but no, that was absolutely blocked. So I ended up going down the end of Savile Row and dropping off on Vigo Street, and the customers walked easily through to 99 Regent Street.
Okay, job number 1 completed on this night shift. That was Sussex Gardens basically to Regent Street, but I dropped them off here so they can walk through on Burlington Gardens. The traffic is very heavy. Everywhere is packed. Restaurants packed, bars packed. That's partly because we had an incredible weather day today.
Okay, let's get out of this part of Burlington Gardens. I go left into Old Bond Street, jump down onto Piccadilly, force left out of here, and then a right turn onto Duke Street. St James's past the prestigious Fortnum and Mason, where job number 2 for this night shift was waiting for me.
Where's that?
Millbank?
Okay, second night shift job, leave by left Duke Street, right King Street, left St James's Street, left Pall Mall, right Marlborough Gate into the park, heading down to the Majestic Mall. Stay in the left lane here. I've already worked out this route in my head. I'm going to head towards Storey's Gate and Westminster Abbey. plenty of traffic, as you can see. Left onto the Mall, lots of American stars and stripes there. POTUS is in town. Right, Horse Guards Road, all the way to the end, looking for a left turn onto Great George Street. Didn't take too long to get that left turn onto Great George Street. Right, Stories Gate, then it's going to be a right turn. Oh, traffic was awful here at Broad Sanctuary outside Westminster Abbey. Really had to stick my nose out, and there are a lot of people not willing to let me out, so then you have to get a little bit pushy, which I did. Finally got the right turn. Left turn now into Great Smith Street, heading west, isn't it? Yes. And then Great Peter Street on the left, all the way to Millbank. Right turn Millbank, U-turn set down on the left. Okay, one out, one in. Yes, sir.
We go to the American Embassy, 9 hours.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Right.
No problem, yeah.
Let's start this journey to Viaduct Gardens, the American Embassy, with a U-turn, just how I finished the last job, towards Lambeth Bridge. Can't do a left turn over Lambeth Bridge. That's only traffic from east to west. Forward Millbank, giving it a steady 20 miles an hour. That's where I got my 3 points, just on the other side, Grosvenor Road. But we won't talk about that. Left turn onto Vauxhall Bridge once I get that wonderful green light. I go green, jumping over the Vauxhall Bridge. Lovely evening. Forward Kennington Lane, right South Lambeth Road. Then a right turn on to Parry Street. Parry Street then morphs into the 9 Elms Lane. Heading forward, 9 Elms Lane, forward and bear left. Looking for that left turn into Viaduct Gardens. Sit down on the left.
Thank you very much. 2 jobs back to back. That was Duke Street to Millbank, then Millbank to Viaduct Gardens, which is right next to the American Embassy.
Right, I'm set for the river now, and I'm going to get back over the bridge. Which one? It's going to be Chelsea Bridge for me. Getting darker all the time now. Dusk is really settling in. Beautiful evening, as I said. So jump over Chelsea Bridge, where job number 4 was waiting for me on the left.
Hi there.
Can you take us to Horsespear Road where the pub is?
Sure, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, going to decide to run the river on this one. So do a U-turn, Chelsea Bridge Road, left Grosvenor Road. Yes, I'm on the Grosvenor Road. That road where I got my 3 points. I always get the heebie-jeebies driving along here. Anyway, 20 miles an hour, all the way it is. And heading up towards Vauxhall Bridge, I'm going to be jumping into the left lane here, because I want to stay out of all that traffic trying to get a right turn onto the bridge, as you can see. Plenty of waiting here, but I did get the green eventually. And then I'm coming to Lambeth Bridge and the junction on the Millbank. There's no left turn now into Horse Ferry Road. So I had to go into Smith Square, Dean Stanley Street, Dean Bradley Street, Comply Smith Square, right Horse Ferry Road, and then through the lights at Great Smith Street, set down on the right.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Okay, job number 4 completed. That was Chelsea Bridge Road to Horse Ferry Road. Bit of a nightmare, really. Just coming back to the Lambeth Bridge junction. You can't turn left now, so I had to go through Smith Square. There's priority for bikes, so no left turn, and then I had to go through Smith Square, which felt very, very strange indeed. Anyway, that's obviously what they're doing there. Can't do anything about it. Let's head back into town. Well, let's head a little further into the Crazy District and see if anyone else wants a lift in my taxi.
And just as I was heading back into the centre of London, this happened.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
So a Charlie job has come through, and if you didn't know, I'm one of Charlie's ugly angels. And this one's Terminal 2 to W8. I'm going to get this out the way because it's going to be quiet in town between 8 and 10. Everyone's where they want to be. By the time I get back and drop this gentleman off, things should be hotting up and people wanting to get home in various states of inebriation.
I was a few minutes early and I jumped into the feeder park, watched a few planes land, and then I got the text message through saying the customer was ready for the pickup, and in I went to Terminal 2. Depart Terminal 2 by Contrail Way, love that aviation sounding name, then go forward Inner Ring West, then Ford Tunnel Approach, heading north towards the Heathrow A380 Emirates roundabout. Go around the roundabout, then jump on to the Heathrow Spur, heading in a northerly direction until we get to the M4 Comply roundabout, all the way around Junction 3 here. That's going to take us on to the M4, heading east into the smoke. London, the metropolis, is coming to us very quickly because there's hardly any traffic on the road this time of night. I decided to take this job as lots of people are where they want to be between 8 and 10, so Great time to kill 2 hours and a good booking as well. And then hopefully when I get back into town, all the people will be jumping out of the restaurants and the theatres. So away we go, jumping up onto the Chiswick flyover, passing over Chiswick roundabout beneath us, and all the advertising hoardings starting to appear as we enter the metropolis of London and Brentford Football Club on the right. Coming down the Chiswick flyover, we jump onto the Great West Road, and then it morphs into Cedars Road, changes its name quite a few times here, across Sutton Court Road, then Hogarth Lane towards the Hogarth roundabout. Comply the Hogarth roundabout. Fuller's Brewery on the right here. This job took a total of, I can tell you, 24 minutes to get back into town. No time at all on the Great West Road here. Need to jump on the right lane here for the Hammersmith flyover. Get down on the other side of the Hammersmith flyover towards the North End Road. Getting lots of green lights here, very lucky with this run. Then on to Cromwell Road West, plenty of construction on the left here. A new tower block blocking out all the sunlight that's going to go up next to the Tesco building here. Just a bit of traffic here at the lights at Earls Court Road. I think that was the first time I actually stopped. Forward Cromwell Road now, passing the Cromwell Hospital on the left. I'm going to do a left before Gloucester Road, left Greville Place, right Southwell Gardens, left Gloucester Road, and all the way to the top. Going to head into Palace Gate and a right turn into Thorney Court.
Thanks very much. It's only 9:30, so I'm going to head into the theatre district because the theatres are going to be bursting pretty soon, and that's where my next job will be coming from. Well, maybe.
From Palace Gate, I headed down towards Cromwell Road, left onto the Brompton Road, up towards Harrods, and then I really did hit it. I was absolutely gobsmacked to see how the traffic was so busy this time of the evening. Everyone just heading into town and the revelry area, I guess. So through the tunnel up onto Piccadilly, and then coming up to Piccadilly Circus. Well, it's absolutely rammed again. I couldn't believe it. I've got no chance of getting over Piccadilly Circus onto Shaftesbury Avenue. It was backed up there, but fortunately that didn't matter because, well, someone decided to jump in.
A job here at Piccadilly. Hi, jump in.
Little Venice, please.
Little Venice, yeah.
Comply Piccadilly Circus. Look, it's all happening here. Leave by Regent Street. Yep, this is me learning about night shifts. Now, it looks like Theatreland, Soho, and Chinatown, the West End, well, they're practically impossible to get to on a Friday and Saturday evening. Well, at least a Friday evening. So forward Regent Street, forward cross over Oxford Street, forward Langham Place towards the BBC on the right, and then forward Portland Place. It just seems like there's so much activity around there. It's going to be very difficult to get in there tonight. However, I've got a job just on the outskirts, and Little Venice is good. Left Park Crescent, and then we'll do a left onto the Marylebone Road once I get through this red light. Forward on the Marylebone Road in a westerly direction towards Paddington, and jumping in the bus lane as ever, but I don't really need to because there's not a lot of traffic heading out of London at the moment. I'll jump onto the right lane here past the Western Eye Hospital, get up onto the Marylebone flyover, then drop down on the left lane, Harrow Road slip, comply Harrow Road roundabout, leave by Warwick Avenue, we're going to Blomfield Road, left Blomfield Road, Jason's Boat Cruises on the left, and I'll sit down neatly on the right.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Job number 6, and we are on Tariff 3.
Headed out of Little Venice on to the Harrow Road, up towards the Edgware Road, right turned onto there. Headed down south towards Marble Arch. Quite a bit of traffic heading up to Marble Arch here. More revellers, I'm guessing, then Park Lane, thinking, actually, I need a coffee. Well, Starbucks was closed inside the Grosvenor House Hotel, but the Esso Garage on Park Lane was open. So I thought, yeah, I could do with a coffee. I need a bit of caffeine to keep myself going on this night shift. Okay, got a snack as well, and then carried on back into Mayfair towards Berkeley Square. Pretty busy around here as well. It was chock-a-block. I could see over the street, Bruton Street and up towards Conduit Street, traffic was not moving. Revellers were out. Left turn up towards Davis Street, where job number 7 was waiting for me.
Hi.
Hello.
Going to Chelsea Creek, Thurston Street.
Nice job here, gets me west, and we know west is best. U-turn, right Grosvenor Street, forward Grosvenor Square, forward Upper Grosvenor Street, past the brand newly opened Rosemont Hotel on the right, which was the American Embassy. Get to the lights at Park Lane, then it's left turn, head south towards Hyde Park Corner. So it looks like from now on, it's going home jobs. I take someone home and then I drive back into the soup, pick someone up and then take them home. That looks like the order of the day. Comply Hyde Park Corner, leave by Grosvenor Crescent, comply Belgrave Square, leave by Chesham Place, forward Chesham Place, hit the temporary lights. Oh, what a surprise. They're digging up Pont Street. Can you believe that? For the 5th or 6th time in the last year and a half, I don't know, cross over the lights at Sloane Street, forward Pont Street, left on to Walton Street. I'm going to use the Fulham Road here, and I might not need to cut through Chelsea Harbour through this special barrier that only residents and taxis can use. I just stay on the Fulham Road because the traffic is so light. Chelsea Creek, one of the new developments down there off Imperial Road. That's where we're heading. So everything's going very smoothly at the moment. This is a nice run, and remember, Tariff 3. Coming up towards the Esso garage on the left past the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital, left turn onto Hortensia Road, right turn onto the New Kings Road when we get to the end. No need to go through Chelsea Harbour here because we are moving steadily and smoothly down the New Kings Road, left Edith Row, right Howard Terrace, left Imperial Road, and are set neatly down on the left for Chelsea Creek. Thanks very much. Okay. Job number 7. That was a good job, actually. So I'm just going to head back up the King's Road. There should be something going on there. And that's exactly what I did. Headed out through Chelsea Harbour and ambled my way on through Edith Grove and up on to the King's Road. And although the King's Road was looking very, very quiet at the World's End part of it, there was some activity outside the Bluebird Cafe and Restaurant, and that's where my next job was coming from. Hi. Okay, shortest job of the night coming up for King's Road, left on to Old Church Street, off to the Paloma Club underneath the Kensington Hotel. You see, I'm finding out new things all the time. Forward Netherlands, Selwood Terrace, forward Onslow Gardens, no right turn, Brompton Road, U-turn, left turn, set down on left. Little job just from the Bluebird to the Kensington Hotel, and there's a club next to it. But if you're a day worker like I am, you never notice these clubs until they're open at night. So London's a completely different animal with all these new clubs and doorways that spring to life at night time that I never see during the day. So what shall I do now? Well, I'll head back into town, of course, Brompton Road, do a bit of Beauchamp Place and amble back through Belgravia, never knowing what I could pick up on the way. Well, I didn't pick anything up on the way. Got to Belgrave Square, a little bit of Grosvenor Crescent, and then Hyde Park Corner. Wow. Job waiting for me outside the Lanesborough Hotel. Right. Hyde Park Corner, just next to the Lanesborough. We've got one. Hi, sir.
The Landmark Hotel.
Okay. Off to the Landmark Hotel on Marylebone Road, comply Hyde Park Corner, leave by Park Lane and head in a northerly direction. No need to use the bus lane here. Traffic is fairly light. Most people might be heading up towards the A40 and heading home, but who knows? It's heading home time, that's for sure, for some people. Left and right Cumberland Gate, right Marble Arch, and then left Great Cumberland Place. Get to the end of Great Cumberland Place, left onto George Street when we hit Bryanston Square, right into Bryanston Square here, and then go to the end, left Bryanston Place, right Seymour Place, go forward, right York Street, and then I'll do a left onto Ensford Street, which is a restricted street, wait for a green light, cross over onto Herod Avenue, and I will do a right turn into the hotel. Thank you very much. Okay, job number 9, I think that was. Hyde Park Corner to the Landmark Hotel. Managed to squeeze my way out of the hotel through this tiny little getaway slip road and then headed towards Baker Street. Baker Street takes me down to Mayfair, that's North Audley Street, around Grosvenor Square and then Carlos Place. And of course, it's just a case of picking people up now and taking them home, which from now on was going to be the order of the night. So North Audley Street, around Mayfair, Grosvenor Square, Carlos Place, and then Mount Street to that new restaurant on the corner called the I don't know what it's called. Anyway, that's where job number 10 was coming from.
You're going? Sit down.
Aye.
We will take
Right, we're off to the Capitol Hotel on Basil Street. Leave by right, David Street, comply Berkeley Square. We're coming from the back, well, you can read the name of that restaurant. Leave by Lansdowne Place, right Curzon Street, left Bolton Street. Get to the end of Bolton Street, left and right's available. I'm going to take a right, of course. And then head down Piccadilly in a westerly direction towards the Piccadilly underpass. Not a lot of traffic at all. Heading neatly past the Mandarin Hotel, left Sloane Street, right Hands Crescent, all the way around forward Basil Street, set down on left.
Right, double figures, job number 10. Where was that? That was from David Street at the bottom, the new restaurant on the corner. It's got a funny name, can't remember. To the Capitol Hotel, Basil Street.
From Basil Street, ended up back out in Belgravia, and well, you know the drill. We just end up going back into town and picking up someone else and then taking them home. And of course, that's exactly what happened. So Half Moon Street took me all the way up to Curzon Street, and then I went south Audley Street, where job number legs 11 was waiting for me.
Hi.
We're off to Caroline Place, forward South Audley Street, left Grosvenor Square, past the new hotel on the right, which looks fantastic, forward Upper Grosvenor Street, and Park Lane is in front. I guess one of you, or many of you, knowledge boys or girls will know where Caroline Place is. We're going to find out in a minute. Left and right Cumberland Place, left Bayswater Road. In fact, that little bit's called Hyde Park Place on Bayswater Road. But we'll call it Bayswater Road because it makes things easy. Past Victoria Gate on the left, forward Lancaster Gate, and we'll keep heading in a westerly direction until we need to get to Orme Court. Orme Court is our right turn. Then right and left for Caroline Place, set down on the right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. There we go. Job number 11. To Caroline Place.
Back onto the Bayswater Road, and you know the drill. We just head back into town and we pick someone else up. So headed down south on Park Lane towards Hyde Park Corner and thought I'd give Piccadilly another try. Now the traffic was a bit better this time, heading up towards Piccadilly Circus. The cab was at least moving, and job number 12 was waiting for me right outside the Dilly Hotel.
Hi.
Heading south for the river to Great Suffolk Street to some student accommodation, another home run. Okay, look at the traffic around Piccadilly Circus at night. It's buzzing. Comply Piccadilly Circus, leave by Coventry Street, right the Haymarket, left Pall Mall East, right and left King Charles I roundabout. I will now comply King Charles I roundabout, leave by Northumberland Avenue. Running this along the embankment here, I'm going to do a left turn onto Victoria Embankment. Everything moving lovely and smooth here. I did check on the routing for this, and it looked like Blackfriars Bridge was going to be the best bet, and indeed it was. So we'll just keep on heading in an easterly direction towards the city for Blackfriars Underpass, left Puddle Dock, left Queen Victoria Street. Get that left turn and then comply Ludgate Circus. Is it called Ludgate Circus still? Someone let me know if it is. Left Blackfriars Bridge, head south on to the Blackfriars Road, and I'm going to be looking for a left onto Burrell Street, which is here. Right and left Bear Lane, left Dolben Street, left Great Suffolk Street. Let's sit down on the right.
Job number 12, that was Piccadilly to the chapter student accommodation on Great Suffolk Street, which I've never been to before. Now, I'm going to do one more job. I wonder what the chances are of getting an Ealing.
Decided to head down the South Bank towards the IMAX cinema and then do a right turn on to Waterloo Bridge. Waterloo Bridge, of course, then gives me a left turn onto the Strand. Now, there must be plenty happening around there, especially after all the bars and all the theatres have closed down around Covent Garden. Well, I got as far as Charing Cross Station, and a young gentleman wanted to play Guess the Fare with me.
How much would it be to Wandsworth Town, do you think?
Well, let's find out, viewer. How much do you think it will cost from Charing Cross Station to Wandsworth Town Station? Forward into Trafalgar Square, comply King Charles I roundabout, leave by Cockspur Street, forward Pall Mall East, forward Pall Mall right, St James's Street. Yes, on this run we play a little game called Guess the Fare. In fact, you play a little game called Guess the Fare. And winners will receive a fine woven key tag, which is also available in my merch store. So forward on Piccadilly. I didn't go down Whitehall here because it's shut. That's right, it's a bit of a convoluted route. Left Grosvenor Crescent, comply Belgrave Square, leave by Upper Belgrave Street, right Eaton Square. Head west on Eden Square towards Sloane Square, leave by Lower Sloane Street. Take a right turn here into Turks Road and then left Turks Row, left Franklin's Row, right Royal Hospital Road. And follow this road all the way down to the river in a southerly direction. Right, Chelsea Embankment, left Albert Bridge. Look at that beautiful bridge. Straight over the bridge and then Albert Bridge Road right into Parkgate Road. Forward West Bridge Road. Look how quiet it is on the streets at this time in the morning. Forward West Bridge Road and then forward Vicarage Crescent. And then forward Lombard Road all the way down to York Road. We're getting into Wandsworth now. Right turn onto the York Road, nothing holding us up here. Get up to the huge Wandsworth Road roundabout, comply roundabout, and leave by Swandon Way, left into Old York Road and set down on the left. Right, job number 13. That was Charing Cross, well, the Strand to Wandsworth Town. It's 1:37 and I think we'll call it a day. That was Guess the Fare as well. How much do you think Charing Cross to Wandsworth Town Station comes to? I'll let you know in the next episode. Leave your answers down below. Don't forget 420 flag 4 and it was Tariff 3. The fare rises in increments of 20 pences. So thanks for watching tonight. Yep, this was my first night shift for 6 years. And you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought, but I don't think I'll be making a habit of them. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave any comments down below. Hit the thumbs up button. Until next time, I'll see you back here.